Hi guys, so today's topic is what is the current trajectory of this society um, and the world in general. I would like to first begin by saying that um, I feel that um, the trajectory of the world in terms of how it's progressing and how it is moving forwards is quite bleak. I feel like we are prioritizing too much on certain things that are not so relevant or important to our lives in terms of happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, and things that really matter in this life. I feel like a focus on materialism is escalating, especially in first world countries, and monetary gains is also escalating in predominantly first world countries. We're focused so much on income, money, and materials that we're failing to see the things that truly matter in the world. What I mean by things that truly matter include things like family, kinship, relationships, all sorts of things. I feel that they are suffering because of our focus on the material world and all the status and power that comes with it. It's not so much the material that is corrupting us, but I feel like it is the status, the power, the pride, and ego that it is feeding us. We see rich people parading on the streets or rich people flaunting their wealth in discreet ways that is harmful to their spiritual health. We see the poor people in the world suffering, not having enough food, and especially in regions of, for example, Africa, people are surviving on less than $1 a day. People are not eating enough, people are malnourished, and people do not have access to clean drinking water. I know that there are startup companies that help aid with this and donation funds that go towards these third world underdeveloped countries, but I feel like that is not enough. The bigger question remains the big question that remains is, if there are so many rich people in the world, the top 100 billionaires are the people who occupy the 99% or 90% of the world's economy in terms of wealth, why can't those people help solve world poverty? And this is a far more pressing and important issue. The welfare of humans is far more important than accumulating senseless material goods and income and money. For example, Elon Musk's worth is over 300 billion. It is easy to say that he can donate possibly just a percentage of his wealth to solve world poverty, but is this too much to ask for a billionaire? I feel like there are more factors that come into play when asking people to solve large problems, especially if they have the wealth. It is not our business, it is not in any of our interest to persuade rich people to donate to charity, but I feel that they can do something about it from their status and power. If the wealthiest 1% of people could donate some of their wealth to charity, it would make the world a better place. It is not only the money that will help people to have access to clean drinking water and to have enough food, but it will also spark a shift in the values of modern society. People will start to see the importance of helping others and the importance of giving to the poor and needy. And as a result, more poor people will be able to have enough food and will have clean access to clean drinking water. And this is far, far more important and a more pressing issue compared to the materialistic world that we are so enamored with. And if all the poor people in the world could have access to education, housing, shelter, and obviously the necessities like food and water, the world would be a much better place. People would have more opportunities to gain in the world and to experience life to its fullest. I believe this is all part of our spiritual sense. When we see people, our spiritual selves, when we see people suffering, it really doesn't really affect us in a way that other personal issues do. But when we see people who are suffering, who finally have access to clean drinking water and nourishment, this will have a positive impact on our spiritual selves. If we see more rich people and the top 1% of billionaires, for example, giving more away to the charities of the world, we will see a shift in our spiritual lives. We will see us being more happier, and we will see ourselves becoming more like one group of people with a humanitarian cause at heart. And I think this is a positive shift in today's society. We are spiraling down a rabbit hole of material goods, status, and power, and failing to see that our spiritual selves need nourishment too. We're failing to see how the poor people and the less fortunate also need to be spiritually nourished, and more so even, and more importantly, physically nourished so that they can experience spiritual lives. Once we see the less fortunate gain, once we see the less fortunate have enough food and water, we will see, and these are very basic necessities, we will see ourselves being happier as a society and as one group of people in the world, as one big human family. So that was all that I wanted to talk about. I believe that the world is spiraling down a rabbit hole, and to aid this, we need to be more mindful of the less fortunate in the world, and especially the top richest people who are absurdly rich, to give some percentage or even just less than 1% of their wealth to charities, which would greatly see an impoverished nation flourishing, as well as see a shift in the spiritual lives of all of humanity. I believe that we will see each of us being happier, more content, and rally towards a common goal, which is the social justice of all people, regardless of socio-economic status, gender, religion, etc. That is all that I wanted to talk about. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.